The night is quiet, but the drama, oh darling, it's never been louder. You may have forgotten all about your favorite nighttime soaps, but Miss Kane, she never did. She's been watching all the affairs, the betrayals, and the big hair, and now she's here to tell you everything you missed, or perhaps just forgot. This is Drama After Dark. Slip into something comfortable, and let's catch you up.
Don't just watch the scandal, darling. Subscribe and join the drama every Friday.
Morning settles over Southfork like honey, quiet, golden, and full of half-finished thoughts. Jock, he strolls in from his ride, dust on his boots and pride in his step, claiming the morning as his own. Miss Ellie's already there with coffee, watching her men start their day the way she always has. Steady, patient, knowing, bless her heart, this peace won't last long. Bobby, bless his heart, he rushes across the patio, juggling papers and kisses, talking business before the sun's even high. Pam's right behind him, all grace and good humor, pretending not to notice how fast the hours steal their time together. Now, Lucy, she's stirring things up, pushing Sue Ellen's buttons before breakfast, fussing over that car she still doesn't have, proving teenage rebellion is alive and well at Southfork. Sue Ellen, well, she keeps her composure, smiling that polite smile that hides more than it reveals. And when Lucy tosses in a dig about JR's late-night habits, darling, you can feel the temperature drop right there in the Texas sun. Jock and Miss Ellie, they just laugh it off, trading a look about which side of the family Lucy takes after. Truth is, she's pure Ewing, restless, reckless, and ready for trouble. Pan and her girlfriend sweep into the restaurant, all laughter, perfume, and polished heels. The hostess greets her by name and leads the group toward their table. But Pan, darling, she lingers behind, catching sight of someone she didn't expect. Cliff Barnes, sitting alone, checking his watch, looking every bit the man who's just realized he's been stood up. Oh, the drama! She smiles, half surprise, half sibling sarcasm, and crosses over, teasing him about how far he's come from tacos and soda to white tablecloths and campaign donors. He throws it right back, that old banter slipping into place as easy as breathing. Then the moment, it just freezes. Sue Ellen walks in, perfect hair, perfect lie forming on her lips before she even gets to the table. Pam's cheerful, offering her to join, but Sue Ellen's mask, well, it doesn't crack. I just finished, she says lightly, eyes darting between Pam and Cliff like she's checking for fingerprints. Cliff stands, polite smile locked in place. Sue Ellen glides out with a soft goodbye, leaving perfume and tension swirling in the air. Pam forces a little laugh, turning back to her friends, but her eyes, they just linger on the door. In Dallas, darling, the real drama doesn't happen at the table, it walks right past it. At Ewing Oil, Bobby's deep in discussion with Jim Morris, shaping one of his biggest deals yet. Jim lays out the opportunity, a Boston firm, Faraday, Marshall and Mathis, old money expanding west. They want to build in Dallas, and Ewing Oil has exactly what they're looking for. The meeting is set for the 17th, and Bobby suggests bringing them out to Southfork for a party. A little Texas charm never hurts business. Jim agrees, confident the ranch will close the deal before the papers ever hit the desk. Across town, Pam's leaving work when Liz calls after her, catching her just as she steps into the elevator. Pam jokes about another uneventful day, saying there weren't any markdown miracles to brag about. Liz grins, promising good things are coming, and when Pam asks what she means, Liz only smiles. She'll tell her when the time's right. The elevator doors slide shut, leaving Pam thoughtful, unaware that while Bobby's planning a Southfork party for the 17th, her own day is about to take a turn of its own. Dinner at Southfork, darling. It looks oh so calm on the surface. Candles lit, conversation perfectly polite, Miss Ellie keeping order like she always does. But peace, well, it never lasts long when JR has something to say, does it? He leans in, all charm and command, announcing he's flying to Washington for a few days. Says it's business, lobbying, the usual Ewing power play. What he really means, of course, is, "Call down the fort while I handle the fun." Bobby pushes back, not thrilled about being volunteered. But JR's already decided for him, hasn't he? Jock steps in before the argument turns into another Ewing standoff. The old man reminds them he built that company long before either one of them learned to shave. Bobby relents, and just like that, JR gets his way again. Oh, the drama! Sue Ellen smiles that pretty, practiced smile. She offers to drive him to the airport, soft as sugar, but hiding steel underneath. You can just tell. Later that night, she picks up the phone, low voice, steady tone. He's leaving tomorrow, and she'll make sure that plane takes off on time. Well, I never! At the airport, Sue Ellen, darling. She keeps her composure, ever so polite, measured and perfectly unreadable. JR thanks her for the ride, tossing out his usual charm like it still works, bless his heart. She wishes him a good flight, voice smooth but utterly detached. Once he's gone, oh, the performance ends. A short while later, JR is in first class beside a beautiful blonde, his traveling companion, not coincidence, you see. The laughter between them, well, that says enough, doesn't it? Back in Dallas, Bobby walks into Ewing Oil to a flurry of ringing phones. Can you believe it? His secretary runs down the list, calls from the bank, from Austin, the union, all waiting on his response. In the outer office, JR's secretary handles things differently, politely telling every caller that Mr. Ewing is out of town on business. Jock's sitting in for JR, but the phones barely ring for him. He's trying to stay useful, yet every silence reminds him the company's moved on. Then Jim Morris calls. Faraday, Marshall and Mathis are confirmed for the Southfork party, and Harrison Faraday's eager to meet Pamela. Bobby smiles, confident the deal's as good as sealed. While JR's flying high with his blonde companion, Bobby's running the show below, and Sue Ellen's already home, preparing for an afternoon of her own. Night drapes itself over Dallas, and Sue Ellen's far from home, tucked away in that same quiet apartment where secrets stay between walls and sheets. She steps out from the bathroom, wrapped in lingerie and confidence, hair brushed out, drink already waiting. Cliff's on the bed, watching her like he's seen this scene before, because he has, darling. There's nothing new about their rhythm, only the timing. She lifts her glass, the smile slow and sharp. It's been 6 weeks, she reminds him. 6 weeks since the first time they were here. She's brought a little present and a toast. To J.R. Ewing, she says, for one of the nicest things he's ever done, leaving town and giving them 2 uninterrupted days. Cliff grins, raising his glass to meet hers. To J.R., he says, and longer trips. The glasses touch, soft and deliberate. She leans back into the moment, not ashamed, not hesitant, just a woman taking what's hers while her husband's miles away. Sunlight spills across the Southfork pool, calm and quiet, until Bobby breaks the surface with a splash. Pam shrieks, laughing and half annoyed, water dripping down her face. Bobby grins, playful as ever, saying he missed her by that much. Pam sighs, half smiling, half scolding. Her hair soaked, she's got an hour before work, and now she's a nervous wreck. He teases her about the Southfork party, telling her it's just a simple event. She rolls her eyes. Nothing's ever simple when the Ewings are involved. Pam admits she doesn't know the first thing about hosting something that big. Bobby suggests she asks Sue Ellen, the undisputed queen of party planning. And for once, Pam actually agrees. The tension fades into laughter, the kind that almost feels normal. As she climbs out of the pool, dripping and exasperated, she tosses one last line over her shoulder. It's not always easy being a Ewing, you know. Bobby just smiles, watching her go, knowing full well she's right. Morning at Southfork, and, oh, Sue Ellen's on the phone. Her voice, well, soft but ever so deliberate. Darling. She tells Cliff she'll meet him at Lake Bachman around 4, promises to bring lunch and wine. Casual words, wouldn't you say, with ever so much layered meaning. Before she can hang up, Pam appears in the doorway. Sue Ellen, bless her heart, covers quickly, all composure, like she always does. Pam insists they talk, calling it important. Can you believe? Sue Ellen tries to brush her off, but Pam presses, suggesting lunch. Reluctantly, Sue Ellen agrees. 1 o'clock at Casa Madrid, of all places. At the restaurant, Pam arrives late, flustered, but Oh, smiling. Sue Ellen's tone is polite, just short of cold, really. Pam explains she needs help planning Bobby's big party for the 17th and doesn't know where to start. Sue Ellen forces a smile, clearly unimpressed. All this fuss over a party, really? Still, she offers to introduce Pam to her caterer. Pam's relieved, thanking her warmly, the poor dear. When Pam suggests they order, Sue Ellen demurs, saying she's not feeling well. Food hasn't sounded appealing lately, you see. She excuses herself, leaving Pam sitting there, confused, I imagine, by the distance between courtesy and truth.
The drama sparkles best when you're part of it. Subscribe and stay close, like a whispered secret. Leave a comment, tell us what has you gasping, because every scandal deserves an audience.
At Ewing Oil, darling, Jock's on the phone, trying ever so hard to sound in control. And JR? Oh, he assures him he's keeping folks entertained. Which, for JR, means a delightful mix of booze, business, and, of course, blondes. Jock, bless his heart, chuckles, half proud, half utterly uneasy, and tells him to call if anything, comes up. JR promises he will, ending the call with that smug, "Oh so JR. Give my best to Mama and Sue Ellen." Cut to a quiet park, my dear, where Sue Ellen and Cliff are strolling side by side. Cliff, ever so curious, asks what JR's really doing in Washington. She replies, with a sigh, same as usual. When he keeps pressing, she simply tells him, "If I wanted to talk about my husband, I'd have stayed home, wouldn't I?" Cliff, charming as ever, bends down, picks a flower, and hands it to her with a grin. She smirks. "Darling," says, "the barns are disgustingly poor." He laughs, calling it charm on a budget. The laughter fades to honesty, as it always does. Sue Ellen admits she's quite tired of JR always winning. Cliff teases that perhaps she's with him because it would hurt JR most. She gives him that sly smile. Maybe he's right, she muses. When he suggests somewhere a bit more private, she doesn't hesitate for a moment. "I thought you'd never ask," she purrs. At the store, Pam's called into Liz's office, a little nervous, half expecting bad news. Really. Instead, Liz greets her with a grin. She's not in trouble. Oh no, she's being promoted. Pam blinks, quite surprised. Liz tells her it's time she started moving in higher circles. When Liz asks if she has a passport, Pam nods. "Of course, darling." Liz smiles. "Good, because they're going to Paris." Pam lights up instantly, stunned and thrilled. Paris, the dream she didn't even realize she still had. Liz explains it's for the fashion shows, where real buyers do their work. She calls Pam bright, stylish, and ready to learn the trade. Pam's touched, thanking her for the chance, barely able to contain her excitement. Then reality sets in, Bobby. She wonders how he'll take it. Liz brushes it off with a laugh. "If it's that important, renegotiate the deal, darling." Pam nods, confident she can make him understand. Before she leaves, Liz adds one more detail. They fly out the night of the 15th and will be back in a week. Pam does the math, realizing she'll be in Paris on the 17th, the very same day as the Southfork party. She hesitates, the excitement dimming just a little, and quietly says, "I hope that's not a problem." Dinner at Southfork is quieter than usual, and honey, Jock doesn't like it one bit. He looks around the table, grumbling that the family's falling apart. Lucy's out with friends, Sue Ellen's in town for dinner, and the house feels empty. Miss Allie reminds him everyone's grown now, but Jock just shakes his head. Once, they all ate together. Bobby jokes that Lucy's grown up, and Pan adds that sometimes work means travel, not choice. Jock eyes her curiously, but lets it drop. After dinner, Jock invites Miss Ellie for a walk around the ranch, leaving Bobby and Pam alone. He asks what's bothering her, and she finally admits it's the upcoming party. The 17th feels too close, and she's just overwhelmed. Bobby reassures her that Sue Ellen's already lined up the caterer. Pam sighs. She wishes they could move the date, but Bobby says it's set. That's when Harrison Faraday will be in town, and they can't afford to miss the chance. Pam gives in with a quiet smile. Then it's the 17th. Bobby laughs, telling her to relax. It's just a party, not the end of the world. At the doctor's office, Sue Ellen sits composed. hiding her nerves behind polite smiles. The doctor says there's no cause for concern, but they'll know more when her test results come in that afternoon. She admits she's been feeling strange, and he brushes it off. Could be anything. Before she leaves, he jokes that JR is long overdue for his physical. Sue Ellen promises to tell him, knowing she won't. Across town, Bobby drops by the store, looking for a dress for Pam. Liz teases that they don't carry his size. He laughs, saying it's for a special occasion. Liz grins. She already knows what it is. Pam's trip to Paris. Bobby's caught off guard, trying not to show it. Liz praises him for being so understanding, saying not every husband would agree on such short notice. She mentions the flight, the 15th. Bobby smiles tightly, realizing he's the last to know. Liz moves on, promising a dress that'll stop traffic. Bobby agrees, forcing a grin, one part pride, one part confusion. Evening settles over Southfork. Oh, Lucy's on the patio, complaining about not having a car. Bless her heart. Jock's teasing that she's got plenty of drivers, you know. Sue Ellen tries to calm her, but Lucy snaps that no one ever listens. Until, darling, the phone rings. Lucy answers, smirking. Which Mrs. Ewing? Then hands it to Sue Ellen. A moment later, Sue Ellen goes still. The doctor says she's pregnant. Well, the family freezes, then bursts with joy. Of course, Jock's absolutely beaming. Miss Ellie's misty-eyed, and Pam, sweet Pam, offers warm congratulations. Jock calls JR in Washington so Sue Ellen can tell him herself. Her voice shakes as she says the words. JR sounds careful, but pleased, promising to fly home first thing. When the call ends, then his grin appears. Oh, so satisfied, so calculated. Later that night, Bobby and Pam lie in bed. Anne admits she wishes it were her giving him that news. Bobby smiles, saying he can wait. Maybe now JR will stop competing. Pam says her new job makes her feel proud. Bobby squeezes her hand, whispering, "That's good enough for me." Morning comes early for Sue Ellen and Cliff. Oh, darling. She meets him quietly, asking how he really feels about her. He calls her terrific, and she almost laughs, says she used to feel that way too, until yesterday. Then she tells him she's pregnant. Well, Cliff's smile fades fast, doesn't it? He jokes about timing, but she cuts him cold. He admits she'll never leave JR or Southfork, not for him, and she doesn't deny it. Still, there's a trace of sadness when he says he truly cares and wishes her happiness. Later, JR bursts through the Southfork doors, glowing with pride. Jock slaps his back, bragging that his eldest finally gave him an heir. Miss Ellie's overjoyed, and JR plays the part perfectly, gracious, beaming, the golden boy once again. That evening, Bobby finds Pam at home and surprises her with a new dress. She's thrilled, and she finally confesses. She turned the trip down. The job means a lot, but they mean more. Bobby pulls her close, smiling softly. Now that's the kind of win money can't buy. Now, baby, the study is glowing like it's Christmas morning, but don't let that fool you. JR stands in front of Sue Ellen, glass of champagne in hand, pretending this is a celebration. He says, "Here you go, darling." Smooth as ever, and she thanks him with that soft voice that hides a storm. He raises his glass. "To you and the baby," coming up with the cat down blocks. And just like that, the charm turns into a cross-examination. He asks why she went to the doctor. She says she wasn't feeling well. He presses, "How far along?" 6 weeks. And that's the moment the smile dies. JR remembers Austin. 10 days away. 6 weeks, huh? The math doesn't math. Sue Ellen stays poised, telling him he came home that weekend. You'd think you'd remember. It's not like it happens that often. Oh, she's cool, collected, and cutting deep with a single line. JR's jaw tightens, and she finishes it with that lazy, lethal grace. Stranger things have happened, JR. Now, baby, this is where the butter on the toast curdles into venom. Sue Ellen fixes him with that icy stare. Are you trying to tell me you may not be the father of my child? JR shoots back. You tell me. There's nothing to tell, she snaps. I've been just as faithful to my marriage vows as you have, darling. That precious Ewing heir, that's all that really matters, isn't it? No matter who the father is. And then it happens. The slap. Sharp. Sudden. Years of resentment landing in one brutal crack. Sue Ellen steadies herself, eyes blazing. Don't you ever do that again. He leans in, dangerous calm. I'll do anything I want to. Not anymore, she fires back, voice low and lethal. Because I finally have something you want, our baby. He laughs, that cruel, disbelieving sound. Our baby? She twists the knife. Chances are, it's yours, JR. But if it's not, how you gonna tell Daddy or the boys at the club? Guess you'll just have to live with it. And for the first time, it's JR who can't find a word to say. First off, to everybody who's already subscribed, baby, thank you. You're the reason this drama keeps pouring. I see you liking, commenting, sipping right along with me, and I love you for it. Now for the rest of y'all just watching from the sidelines, what's the holdup? We're sitting at 29 subscribers, more than halfway to 50, and I want you in this family. Go on, hit that button. Let's make it official before JR stirs up the next mess. You bring the shade, I'll bring the bourbon. Deal?
Well, wasn't that deliciously messy? Miss Kane walked you through the drama, and trust me, the secrets are just starting to spill. But don't think it's over, darling. There's always another scandal waiting in the shadows. This has been Drama After Dark. Until next time, we'll be watching. Will you?